Hello everybody, hope you're doing good. Here we are. I've been doing a series that I got from an article, and I'm ran into some information as I'm working through this document. I started in 2007, which 51, I was 51 at the time, 17 years ago. You do the math. And that will matter in light of what I'm going to share with you today. But anyway, it's from Investors Business Daily, a magazine that I subscribed to back then, if I remember right, and I had an article in there, Investor Business Daily's 10 Secrets to Success. And so I've been working through this and kind of doing it, writing it out honestly for my son, who is a very successful man in his own right, and just trying to be a good dad, I guess. But I thought it would be worth sharing with all of us. Some good stuff here. And so I've done two podcasts now, or videos, YouTube videos on this. Here's the steps. Number one, take action. Goals are nothing without action. Don't be afraid to get started. Just do it. And so I did a blog on that one. And then the second one is, I remember the title on this one, Grow You. And I just did that maybe yesterday or the day before. But never stop learning. And that is so important. Go back to school, read books, get training, acquire new skills. I just added a quote today. If you are busy at your work, chances are you will eventually get replaced by a robot. And so it's kind of sobering, but if Marty's talking about, if there's something that you are working maybe at an assembly line or something like that, they'll figure out a way to replace you. So you got to keep, all jobs are obsolete eventually. So you got to keep growing and learning new skills. But anyway, so today, the third secret is be persistent and work hard. I mean, that makes sense. But it said success is a marathon, not a sprint. Never give up. So here's my thoughts on that, and I'll just kind of read it and maybe add a few more comments to what I've written. But anyway, Lee, it's hard to believe that 17 years have passed since my last entry. I was 51 years old. Today I have a better understanding of the truth of this secret, that success is a marathon. And I highlighted three things that I've learned. First of all, I have learned the power over these last 17 years. I've learned the power of compounding. Investing regularly over long periods of time really does add up. And this goes far beyond finances. Investing in relationships and personal growth, doing your job with excellence. I remember John Maxwell said, if you keep doing the things you should be doing, there'll come a time that you'll be able to do the things that you want to be doing. And I'm not sure if he thought about it then. He's a little older than me. But if you keep doing the things you should be doing, there'll come a time that you will want to do the things you should be doing, really. That's a good analogy of the Christian faith. But I've learned the power of compounding, investing in relationships. I thought about, as I was writing this, I thought about my marriage. And Sanj and I will be celebrating our 50th anniversary here in just a few more years. We're already planning on it, saving for it, and want to do something special. But I think back when I first got married, and we were madly in love, but we went through a lot of ups and downs like every couple does. But we just it's a marathon. Marriage is a marathon. And today, I'm so glad we stuck it out. And if those of you that know us well, you know that we've shared from time to time how we almost lost our marriage. But we worked through our divide, and we worked through our tough times, and we've had other tough times, and I'm so glad that we worked it out and we stuck to the race. And today my love and appreciation and honor for my wife and the value that I place on my marriage I couldn't put a price tag on it. And so I just want to encourage maybe some of you today. You're younger than I am, and marriage is about duty at the end of the day. It's about working hard and serving that other person, and it's not always easy, but a good marriage, it's a marathon, but it's worth it. And so don't give up. Work through your issues and keep growing, and I promise you it'll be worth it. And so I've learned the power of compounding. And you may feel like you're, get up and I read my Bible every day, and I don't have, lights from heaven and all these great things that happen. And does it do any good? I go to work and I keep putting a few dollars back, and I just keep, investing in my relationships and doing life. But it doesn't in the moment, it doesn't seem like it's really doing that much good. It's a marathon, and there is a power in compounding. And so keep investing in yourself, in your relationship with God, in your relationships with others, in your career, in serving others. I promise you it will add up. So second thing I learned is I also learned the limitations of compounding. You can't invest in everything. The longer you live, the fewer options you have. You can't go back and start over. Once the gun fires and the race starts, you head off in a direction. And as you head off in a direction, it gets harder and harder to change course. Eventually, you can't change course. Best to plan ahead and really like what you're doing and who you're doing it with. And this brought back a conversation I had with my son just a few days ago, a book that I read that really impacted me. And I told my son, I said, as I was sharing, I said, don't panic. I'm not gonna make a major switch in my life, but I'm really intrigued by this. But I realize it's too late for me to make that major, if I wanted to make that major shift. And I've learned as the years go by that the options do narrow, and you can't do everything that you want to do in life. And so think about that now, and get in a place where you are happy at what you're doing and who you're doing it with, and be satisfied. Learn contentment. And the sad truth in my profession, in my job, so often our culture doesn't appreciate age like it should. And say for a minister, and even in the professional world, you get to a certain age and people are not interested anymore. So you got to think ahead. You're not going to have all the options that you may have right now. Think ahead. Success is a marathon. And so get in the groove, get in the track, find the things that you love doing and the people you love doing it with. And there's a lot to be said for defining that as success. And then there's a third and final thing. And finally, I'm beginning to be painfully aware that even marathons don't last forever. Deadlines and finish lines are a reminder that life is not forever, and that all success is not equal. And I ended with this. This is for my son, but maybe for all of us today. Keep the home fires burning brightly, for in the end, all your keys will be turned in, and all the doors will be shut behind you, but one, home. And I'll never forget when after 20 years, over 20 years, when I count my years as a youth pastor, my time there, the great Fort Mill Church of God, and I'll never forget my last day of being the pastor there. And I wrote a letter at my desk that I had sat at for 20 years. I wrote a letter to my successor. I didn't know who it would be, but I wrote a letter with some instructions and some information and some best wishes. And I sealed it, and I laid my keys on my desk, and I walked out of my office, and I walked out of the office, and for the first time in all those years, I was locked out. I couldn't go back in. I can only go there now if I'm invited. In every position, everything you do in life, there's only one place you can go, and they have to let you in, and that's home. And the good news is they will want to let you in. Invest in the things that matter. Life is a marathon, but even marathons come to an end. So let's run to win, and and let's win the things that truly and really matter. All right, there you go. My little pep talk for another day. And God's best to you all. We'll see you around the bend.